Hey everybody, it's Darrell with the Back 40 broadcast on Wednesday, January 4th, brand new year, brand new broadcast. We're doing something different today. We're going on live with Facebook. We've been doing this broadcast for the last 3 months now. If you go to theback40.com/live-stream, you'll be able to see the broadcast we've been doing for the last few months. And just like everything in the Back 40, we try new things. A lot of times in the second half of life, people don't try new things. They don't want to risk. They don't want to run the risk of looking bad, or, you know, they already know who they are or what they're capable of. And we're just blowing all that stuff away here in our community that we're building called the Back 40. So if you're seeing us for the first time today, welcome. We're here every week at noon Pacific time to bring you a nugget or a nudge to support you in creating your second half of life as your best half of life. We have two basic premise of the Back 40. First is, like Frank Sinatra sings, the best is yet to come. And babe, won't it be fun? So we really believe that. And we're really here to turn around this idea that as you move into the second half of life, 40s, 50s, 60s, that, you know, your best career and creativity and ingenuity and best hot sex and all that stuff is in the first half. We say bull. We're really here to blow it out, and we're really creating a new mindset around what it is to move into the second half. We say the first half was just R&D, research and development, to give you a sense of what you really came here to do and who you came here to be. The other premise, I said there were two, right? The other premise is that we believe that you have yet to do what you came here to do. I have yet to do what I came here to do. Now, I know I'm speaking to a lot of awesome people who've done amazing things in their first half of life. And guess what? What if you still have yet to do what you came here to do? That's what we're playing for here. You know, the general idea is that in life we go up and there's this arc, and then we start declining. And, you know, that's kind of like the up, down, and out idea. We're here all about up, and out. So if that interests you, come every week, join us. You can go to theback40.com, download top 10 tips for creating a radical second half for your life. And look at our blog. We have just a ton of stuff on there that you'll find inspiring. But the point of our getting together each week at this time is 15 to 20 minutes to give you a nugget or a nudge to be creating your day, your week, your life this next year as your best. So, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, again, thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. I might be able to see a few comments if you post them. Again, we're doing this, you know, first time here today. So, but if you're here, you won't actually see the slides that I'm putting up on our live stream, okay? But I'm going to read them to you, so no worries. If you do want to see the live stream, you can go to theback40.com/live-stream. So I started the broadcast today with a quote by a really brilliant man named Werner Erhard. I'm sure many of you know of him and the contributions he's made in the world of transformation. And the quote is this: "You are not limited to the person you wound up being, the person you think you are. You can create a way of being for yourself that currently would be unrecognizable for you as really being you, and have that way of being be authentically who you are." Kind of looking around my phone here, so if you see me do this, I'm doing two different media at the same time. Anyhow, so what's, you know, I'm not going to even try to say what he's saying, because what he's saying is what he's saying, and it's awesome. And I do want to, what today's about is we want to talk about being. Okay, this is a new year. And many people have spent the last couple weeks or few weeks looking at what they're going to create in their next year. Maybe kind of wrapping up 2016 and looking to see what got accomplished, which of the goals were met, what didn't get met, what are ways that we can be more effective as we go into the new year and creating what we're creating. And by the way, if there's anyone watching who didn't kind of create what this new year is going to be about, I just want to offer for you that, you know what, we can take on new things all the time. I think sometimes as people get later in life and it's kind of like it's same old, or then they're done that, and, you know, that's not who I am. And, you know, a lot of times they don't really take on that, wow, I can grow. There's more growth for me. See, we say you haven't even done what you came here to do yet. And so if that's the case and you want to subscribe to that, there's a heck of a lot of growth. And it's fun growth, and it's great growth. Because remember, the first half of life was just R&D, research and development. You've got a ton that you've already researched and developed to propel you into what you really came here to do. That's what our programs, and that's what we're all about here at the Back 40. And so we want to talk about, if you're going to be playing for goals this year and you've got them planned out, or if you're going to put some together now after this broadcast, what's the number one thing? What's the number one thing that's going to support you in fulfilling those objectives? There's going to be a lot of action, yes. And we want to look at who we are going to be being. Being. Who are you being? Because, see, being shapes everything. And I've been looking at this a lot, well, for, you know, most of my life. And right now, it's like taking on. You know, I have some enormous goals. You know, like kind of like outside of the box, like, are you crazy kind of goals for this year? You know, like New York Times best-selling author. That's, you know, it's like, whoa, right? And my question, though, and there's a lot of actions and things we'll be taking, but who am I going to have to be? You know, who do we have to be to fulfill on those goals and objectives and initiatives that we're taking on in this new year? And that really shapes it all. You know, that really comes first. So I want to just share a couple of slides here. And again, if you're watching on, I'll share what we're pointing to on our slides. But again, I want to read, well, real quick too, and you can see this, if you're on Facebook Live, you can see this by going on to the live stream later. Go check out a couple of ebooks that we have on Kindle, Birth of the Back 40 and Crisis or Opportunity. Those are really awesome books to give you a sense of where people took themselves at a midlife point and really took themselves in a whole new direction, not based on their past. And also I have a note here, if you'd like to get top 10 tips for a radical second half, go to the Back 40 and you can download those there. So here's some interesting ideas. How many of us operate that we grow up and we find ourselves? You know, there's this idea that it's like, oh, my job is to grow up and find out who I really am, right? Now, nothing wrong with that as long as you don't stop. And I think what happens for many of us as we get into our 40s, 50s, 60s, there's this idea that, okay, I've discovered who I am. This is who I am. I'm not like that. I can't do those things. And therefore, it limits what we see as possible. It limits the risks we'll take. You know, it's really interesting, you know, when you look at the Facebooks and the technologies and all these things that get created by the 20-year-olds and the 22-year-olds and 24-year-olds, it's like, okay, they're playing. They're just out playing. They're not worried about whether they're going to look good or not because they haven't necessarily failed yet. And what happens is, as we've gone through life and maybe we've had some failures or things like that, then it's like we kind of decide who we are, what are the boundaries within which we can operate. So I say that this idea of growing up and finding ourselves is great as long as we keep that game going. So to what degree, here's a question, I'm looking over my phone, to what degree has self been carved in stone for you? You know, to what degree is who you are like already set. Look, this is a brand new year. Do you know that anything is possible if you can take on a beingness to allow it? You know, for me to allow myself to become who, see, becoming precedes results. This is what I want to say, is that you may have a whole list of results that you want to produce this year. And who you're going to be being has to come first. Sometimes we think, you know, if I could, you know, if I had this, then I could do that, and then I could be that. Well, we turn that around here, okay? We're going to say that who you're going to be is going to shape the actions you take and shape the results that you're going to have in these resolutions, goals, initiatives, whatever that you're taking on in the new year. So do you have a ritual? Do you have a ritual of playing for something beyond who you've been? You know, do you have results and goals or new initiatives or explorations that you're going to take in the new year? If being precedes results, look at all of those. Look at all that you're creating and look to see, who am I going to have to be? Who am I going to have to be? You know, what are the areas of mastery I'm going to have to develop myself in? But again, being. You know, I've got a little poster right up here. Right up here. I'm not going to move the phone because then I'll throw everything off. But this is reminding me of who I'm being in the new year. And so when I come in the morning and I start writing, I read who I'm being. And then I go start taking my actions throughout the day. So here's every week we give you a little game to play, a little Back 40 game to play. And again, I'm going to share it with you right now if you're watching on Facebook Live, and you can go back and see it on our live stream at the Back 40. But what the game is go review your goals. Go review your goals, your plans, your initiative for 2017, and look to see, determine what the B's are going to have to be in order to produce that. One of the things we always encourage here in the Back 40 is get a buddy. Get a buddy to do this with, because left to your own devices, you're probably not going to. You know, most of us have good ideas and think about things, but then we don't take the action. So go get a buddy. You can even play this back on Facebook for them, or you can send them the link or put them onto the live stream where they can see the recording. But get a buddy so that you can get out of your own mind. My dad, when I was a kid, used to say, "Are you out of your mind?" And you know what? It's a good thing. Good thing to get out of your mind, because your mind is full of limitations, full of all of the voices telling you what is or isn't possible based on what you've learned about yourself. So get a buddy and then share with each other, what are your goals? What are the objectives that you're taking on this year? And, you know, look to see who you're going to have to become to achieve those. Who you have to be? What's the umbrella under which all those goals will fall? If you're being that, then it's a natural that those things would fall out of that with the action that comes after the being. And then take your B's and put them at the top of your list. And when you're looking at your list, when you're getting in touch with your goals, you know, throughout the year on a regular basis, keep looking back to who you're going to be. Schedule a weekly time to have a B call with your buddy. Just checking in on who you're being. Okay, the results are happening now, or they're not happening yet, or, you know, maybe there's support you give each other on the actions, but the most important thing is, how can you support each other in who you're being? And if you'd like, if you're going to take on this game and play it, you know, go on to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/the Back 40, and tell us you're going to be playing this game this year. We'll play with you. And tell us if you enjoy this broadcast through Facebook Live. Tell us if you saw it through YouTube or on our live stream page. We'd love to get some feedback. We'd love to hear what more would support you in creating your second half as your best half as we move into this next year. So I just want to end with another quote. And I'm going to have to look around my phone here to catch this one. Actually, you know what? I'm being so smart. I just moved it. So this is by F. Scott Fitzgerald. You know, wrote the, I don't know, I'm thinking I know what he wrote, but I'm not gonna, okay, I think he wrote The Great Gatsby, or, yeah, I think that's what he wrote. Anyhow, see, I took a risk. That might be wrong. But here's a great quote about who you're being this year. For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early, to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you're not, I hope you have the courage to start over again. Guess what, folks? No matter what 2016 was like, we have an opportunity to start over again. And as much as it may not seem the first blush thing to consider, who we're going to be being, who we're going to take on being as we go into this new year, is really going to shape what's possible. So, for those of you, again, who are new to our broadcast, please come back every Wednesday at noon. We'll be doing it on Facebook. We're also doing it on our live stream at the Back 40. And we just want to end with a little music by a good friend named Paul Hoffman. It really is an awesome testament to what our life is about here in the Back 40. So, again, thank you for being here. Go have a radical week and a radical beginning to your 2017, and we'll see you back here.
I am.